No.
Good. Mic's on.
Yes. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I should just do, because there's like a share there.
That's, I mean, oh, that's nice, actually, the natural lighting.
This is not really.
Oh, that's way better.
But that's what kind of. See, like.
You can always reduce. I feel like it's a little, I mean, do you think, what do you think? You know the post-editing process. I think that looks better.
With that being on.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just worried that it's gonna be one-sided.
We can always move the flag. Like, depending on which side, like if you move to this side, I'll move to that side. Right. So it's like this side, that side, you know? I think that's the standard. Oh, no, wait.
Where?
Because it says Mr. Okay. So is a viable solution.
Try not to get that all this. Yes. Am I start reading them in here or I'm standing over there? Maybe stand over here and say it, or I say it as I want. He had some a better set of lugs.
Yeah. Like walking. Fine.
This is
I missed the whole thing. But behind them.
right. Just gonna.
I'll go double check.
Oh, I forgot it, but I'm glad I did. My throat's going dry now. All right, we're gonna get started here. If you guys want to take a seat, please. Please take your seats. All rise for the Superior Court of the State of Washington en banc. The Honorable George F.B. Apple presiding.
You may be seated. Good afternoon and welcome to the formal ceremonial investiture of the Honorable William Steffener. It's my pleasure to preside, as I've known Judge Steffener for a good long while. I'm Judge Apple. And Judge Steffener has actually been part of this community, as most of you know, for over 20 years. Over 20 years. And started his career in this county over 20 years ago in the Public Defender's Office, working, as many of you perhaps do know, in the back and also in the front, the counter, where he made many friends and also met his wife, Peggy. What many do not know, although those who have worked with him and those who have worked against him all know, is that he is the sort of person who's always dedicated to whatever is in front of him, never complaining, always smiling, helpful, trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, cheerful, brave, and clean. I scratched reverent because I was walking past his office when he was disassembling some county furniture, and I think he dropped something on his foot, and oh, I made that part up. He is actually, in fact, an Eagle Scout. 1995 Eagle Scout. But in addition, he has wide range of experience. Those are people who don't remember, don't know, who weren't around in those days. Judge Steffener, as I say, started in the Public Defender's Office, but then went to law school, attending University of Montana, a university which keeps turning out good judges. And then on coming back, managed to land a job once again with the Public Defender's Office. It turns out they all wanted him back. Interesting story about that. And I heard this after the fact. The director at the time, Bill Jaquette, didn't let anybody know he had hired Judge Steffener. Instead, told everybody he had hired somebody else, daughter of a friend of his, an imaginary person, Sandra Reeves. Sandra Reeves was the name that adorned his door, I am told. Even had a name plaque and everything, but it wasn't Sandra Reeves. There was no such person. It was in fact Will Steffener, who was back and worked for the public defenders as a public defender. And I can tell you, because I had his very first felony case, that is to say, when I was in the prosecutor's office, I had his first felony case. He's a hard worker, a good lawyer, and a nice fellow. I mean, these are some people, you have a trial with them. I know you all know this. You have a trial with them, and there are some folks you can win the case, but you hate it every day, and you could lose the case and enjoy your life. That is the sort of lawyer Judge Steffener was. And we worked. Oh, we worked. You remember that? We were in front of Judge Downs. He worked us right through the lunch hour. Yeah. Don't do that. At the public defender's until 2012, and then at the prosecutor's office. Until, when was it? Is it 21? When, 21. And if you do the math, actually a little longer at the prosecutor's office than at the public defender's office. And then he went private. And now he's here. So a wide range of experience. It's my pleasure to officiate over this, his ceremonial investiture. Judge Steffener, that is your real name. Okay. Those are my comments. I do want to acknowledge our visiting judges. Somewhere, somebody's got a list. Where did it go? Nowhere. Okay. All right, we'll see how I do. Our visiting judges. Raise your hand if you're a visiting judge. Raise your hand if you have my list. All right, from district court, just upstairs, we have Tony Howard, Judge Tony Howard, and Judge Tam Bowie. Oh, thank you so much. We have also, I'm going to be horribly out of order with all of these things. Luckily, you will all be understanding and patient. Also, we have Judge Bafew from Linwood Municipal Court. And we have, what else we have Judge Kastner from across the street, Everett Municipal Court as well. Thank you. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I apologize if indeed I did. We have retired judges as well in attendance today. Judge Downs, there he is. Yes. Judge Bowden. I know I saw him. Okay, thank you. All right. Judge Kurtz. Judge Ellis, late of the Snohomish County Superior Court. Turning next to the Superior Court bench as it currently stands, Judge Anita Ferris. Judge Joseph Wilson. Okay. Judge Jennifer Langben. Judge Anna Alexander. Judge John Scott. Judge Miguel Duran. Judge Patrick Moriarty. And Commissioner Susan Harness. Commissioner Ian Johnson. Commissioner Melissa Kirkley. And Commissioner Solomon Kim. I have it on very good information that retired Commissioner Susan Gare is somewhere. There she is. Nice to see you. I'm sorry. Oh, yes.
I work
Judge- saving the best for last. Did I miss Tam too? Okay, yes, all right. I'm pretty sure, all right. I'm so sorry, Judge Dingledye, Judge Mary Beth Dingledye, and Judge Tam Bowie. I'm so sorry. Okay, I thought I did. I'm also pretty sure I had Judge Moriarty in there, but people will let me know. Okay, this is the most delightful part of this whole process. Now, in addition, Heidi Percy, our clerk, is present. Yes, there you are. Is there anybody whom I missed? Okay, very good. Those are the. Oh, where's council? And Megan Dunn from the county council. And seated next to her, Snohomish County Public Defender Director Kathy Kyle. I'm sure there are others I am missing. I will apologize right now, but I do also want to acknowledge the family who is present here with Judge Steffener. His wife, Peggy. And daughter, Charlie. Hi. Also present, Bill and Jeannie Steffener, his parents. Good afternoon. His godmother, Cindy Vicunas. And Stevie Berry, stepdaughter, and husband Ethan. Where are you? There, okay, good. Chris and Brandy Holbrook, stepson and wife. Hi. Okay, all right. Also, some families here by Zoom. I wish to greet them as well. Kathy and Dave Allison, Judge Steffener's sister and brother-in-law. Also, Samantha Holbrook, stepdaughter, and stepdaughter and husband, Carsey Lawson and Mac Lawson. Welcome to you as well. Those are the people I wish to recognize at this stage. But before we go further, I do wish to call forward some speakers, some people who have some things to say. And starting with retired Judge Michael T. Downs. Judge Downs, would you please come forward and share some remarks?
I don't think I was ever the draconian person who made two young lawyers work through lunch. That story just stretches credulity with me, which I can say now because I've been retired for 5 years and the presiding judge doesn't assign my cases anymore. So I'm just free to speak. I did retire 5 years ago now. I was sworn in on this bench 19 years ago this month on a hot, sweltering day where when I stood up to speak, I think everybody was hoping I'd make it really quick so they could get out of there, which I did. It's really an honor to be here to talk when Will is being, Judge Steffener is being invested with his robe. It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal for him personally, professionally. It's a huge deal for his family. I mean, there's lots of families where if somebody manages to get to be a judge in them, I won't say that the family is necessarily awestruck, but they are incredibly proud. So proud, it's just hard to express it. And I'm sure that that's true of Will's family as well. He's a good lawyer, he's a good guy, and the governor saw fit to appoint him. I first met him, I think 16 years ago, in some fateful case where allegedly the judge made everybody work through lunch. And I was really impressed by him. I was impressed that here's this guy who I really hadn't seen before, except maybe maybe I'd seen him on the omnibus calendar, but you only catch glimpses of people in the omnibus calendar, which I'm not even sure if they do anymore. But in those days, they had these omnibus calendars, and you could observe young people coming up. And you could tell, even in the brief glimpse of what you saw, how people may do in the future in their career. Because sometimes you call cases, and there's people back in the back of the courtroom, and they're looking at stuff on their phone. And you finally got to kind of yell out, "Hey, Mr. Smith," and they show up. Sometimes you call cases and there's no response. At least in those days it wasn't. And sometimes attorneys would stand up and say, because they didn't want to leave you hanging, they'd stand up and say, "Judge, that's a case assigned to my office. I don't know anything about it, but if you can put it to the foot of the calendar, I'll find out and I'll get back to you about what's going on." He did stuff like that. He perceived what was going on around him. He not only cared about his own clients, but he cared about the look and the reputation of his office, and he cared about the people that his office was representing, whether he was actually the person representing them or not. You can tell a lot from somebody just from little things like that. He was always prepared. He always cared. When Will went to the prosecutor's office, he had various assignments, some of them probably less glamorous than others. Some of them were terribly boring things to do. There's this annual process by which bail bond companies have to go through this thing called justification. And there are a slew of paperwork. All kinds of things have to be done. And the prosecutor's office had the responsibility to review it before it was given to the judge to say, this is what's going on. This is what we think the deficiencies are. This is what, we think you should approve this, whatever it was. There were people who weren't too wild about taking on that drudgery. Will always did it. He did it right. He didn't have to send stuff back and say, what about this? He always cared, even in the less glamorous things, which is going to make a big difference to his benchmates, because all of us, well, I used to, all of you get various administrative tasks assigned to you. Who really wants to deal with this? But you do have to deal with it. And you need to know that the people you're working with are actually going to be committed to it and doing it right. And Will do that. I have no doubt he will do that. Perhaps most importantly of all, he gets the humanity of the system. You can put a robe on anybody. You can put them up on the bench in front of people, and the robe, I guess, gives you a certain amount of respect or legitimacy. But in your heart and in your soul, you have to care about the people who are in front of you. They may be charged with doing terrible things. They may be proven beyond a reasonable doubt to have done terrible things, but they're still human beings. And they need to be treated with some respect. They need to be accorded some humanity. And you can do all that and still carry out all the mandates of the law while treating people with respect. And will do that. I know that he will do that. It's one of the major reasons that I was willing to and agreed to support him when he put his name in for appointment. I think the Snohomish County bench has just gained a huge asset. More importantly, the Snohomish County community has just received a huge asset. He's going to be around for a long time. Okay. I'll tell you this right now. I once read this thing. I have no idea where I read it, but it said, when you get to be a judge, it takes you about 5 years to really figure out what you're doing. And I'd forgotten that I read that until I'd been a judge for about 5 years. And then I realized, wow, I really think I'm kind of getting the hang of this thing. It takes a long time to get used to it. You know the functions, you know the law, but it takes a long time to get your own center of gravity of what you're doing. And I have no doubt you'll be able to do it. Not only will you be able to do it, you will do it. So congratulations again. Okay.
By the way, also in attendance are Judge Steffener's brother, Justin Steffener, with his wife, Lindsay, and their children. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Judge Downs. I now ask if Jennifer Gogurt of Dino Milliken, the Dino Milliken Law Firm, can come forward and share a few remarks as well.
Good afternoon. I am delighted to be here today for Judge Steffener. I have had the joy of practicing with him when he came to private practice from the prosecutor's office, as you've heard about from the people who've spoken before me. And I certainly echo all of Judge Downs' remarks, even the alleged working through lunch, which I have to confess, Judge Steffener had to work through lunch with me with his poor parents sitting in our lobby. I had kind of forgotten about that until I heard about other alleged lunch incidences. he handled that with grace and aplomb. I had no idea what I was putting him through that day when we were working together with a client, and he did very well. I have not a doubt in my mind that Judge Steffener will serve our community very well. He is smart, articulate, an incredible lawyer, all of the things that we knew about Will when he joined our firm. His reputation preceded him in spades. And I have known Will, Judge Steffener, for more years than I care to admit. But what I really would like to focus on is what I think Judge Steffener is going to bring to our bench from the viewpoint of a community member. Sure, I practice law in Snohomish County, have for my entire career. More importantly, I grew up in Snohomish County. I'm raising my family here in Snohomish County. And our bench is going to be augmented and frankly blessed with Judge Steffener joining their ranks. He is going to work hard. He is going to put in the extra effort, and he's going to bring his delightful sense of humor, which is always helpful when you're doing hard things, which is an understatement for this particular gig that he is beginning. So it is with joy in my heart that we celebrate your investiture today, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Ms. Goger. At this time, I'm going to call you forward, Judge Steffener, and we will do what you previously did, I think in Judge Thompson's chambers back on the 5th, and now for the benefit of everyone, would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, William C. Steffener,
I, William C. Steffener,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution and laws
that I will support the Constitution and laws
of the United States and the Constitution and laws
of the United States and the Constitution and laws
of the state of Washington,
of the state of Washington,
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform and discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform and discharge the duties
of the office of Superior Court Judge according to the law and to the best of my ability.
of the office of Superior Court Judge according to the law and to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. I think it would be appropriate, you're a judge right now, actually, but the public has not seen you invested. And at this time, I would ask that you step up once again. And do you have your robe? Yes, you do. You have somebody with you who will place it on you? Well done. Judge Steffener, do you have some remarks?
Yes, I do. Brevity has never been one of my strong suits, and so I wrote things down to not go off on a tangent. Not that I've ever been known to go off on a tangent at all. Good afternoon and welcome to everyone here today. And thank you for joining us today. Today is my formal swearing in and marks a momentous event in my life and my career. It is a milestone in a career that I have dedicated towards service to my community. and towards a desire to help the people around me. However, my journey towards reaching this day, this milestone, was always strengthened by the enormous support I received from my family, my friends, my coworkers, and my colleagues. I would like to thank numerous individuals, but first, a humble thanks to Governor Inslee and his esteemed council, Ms. Leathers and Mr. Wonhoff, for having the confidence in my abilities to bestow this honor upon me. I thank my parents for giving me a foundation of core values that has guided me my entire life. My mom and dad, Bill and Jean Steffener, instilled in me a drive to keep seeking knowledge, a desire to help people if I can, and to have compassion. They taught me what integrity was and to how to maintain it. These principles have shaped and defined my career, my life, and the direction of both, and will continue to do so. I thank my family and friends here today, both in person and via Zoom, for all their support over the years. Snohomish County is where I was raised and where I have built my life and my career. Over the course of my career, I have been extremely fortunate to have enjoyed a professional life that has been engaging and challenging, all while being able to work with incredible colleagues and opposing counsel in service to my community and my county. I began my career not as a lawyer, as Judge Apple indicated, but as a clerk receptionist at the Snohomish County Public Defender Association. Watching these incredible attorneys advocating for their clients with such passion. I've quite literally worked my way up from the mailroom. Along the path, I had the opportunity to have some incredible mentors to guide me, such as Bill Jaquette. Where are you, Bill? And Susan Gare at the Public Defender's Office. And Michael Held at the Prosecutor's Office. I thank them for their guidance and their friendship. Not that long ago, I was fortunate enough to be given the opportunity to experience private practice, working with and for friends of truly the highest caliber. The attorneys and staff at Denno Milliken Law Firm provided me with such mentorship and friendship that I am eternally grateful to them. In a very short period of time, the entire firm became family to me, and I miss seeing each of their faces every single day. I also would like to thank the entire Snohomish County Superior Court bench, both the judges as well as the commissioners. This is a group with an astounding amount of knowledge and experience to draw from. It has been an honor practicing before each of them. I humbly thank them for all of their support throughout this process, and I stand here confident in the path before me because of the strength, knowledge, experience, and camaraderie present in my new colleagues. Above all else, I thank my wife, Peggy. Crap, okay. I've been practicing so this wouldn't happen. Peggy, you have been my unwavering support and thank you for your confidence in me. You are my rock, you are my partner, you are my best friend. I love you. Okay. Recently, I had a very good friend ask me what I hope people will come to expect when they came before me in court. My fervent hope is that folks will come to know that my court is prepared. Having read the pleadings, sometimes twice, and the case law, is courteous and respectful to all litigants, parties, and those interacting with the court. That my court is thoughtful and compassionate in making its judgments and tries to reach the right answer. And that everyone walks away feeling that their voice was heard. That is my deepest desire as I journey forward. I will labor to validate the trust placed in my ability to be a wise and fair judge. And I am ready to serve Snohomish County. Thank you.
You don't sit down there anymore.
Yes,
Judge Steffener, would you please join us here
thank you.
on the bench? And now, Before I recess these proceedings, I hope everyone will join us down at the arena where I am told there will be a reception. At this time, court is adjourned. Nice.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.